There's a free lunch program in New Jersey, and it's for everyone, even if you don't need help to send your child's lunch to school. So those kids are all going to grow up thinking, well, lunch is free.
Well, I mean, if you are a parent, school lunches are not going to solve the problem of child hunger at any serious level.
In the case where child abuse is fatal, obviously it's not good for the child, but it's actually a benefit to society because there aren't needed for government services and whatnot over the whole course of that child's life.
That was an Alaska state representative named David Eastman, a Republican, literally claiming that child abuse fatalities could actually have a silver lining, less of a cost on society.
I don't hear you rebutting his argument, Anna. Dude made a point. What's your counter? Does he think that devil's advocate is like an actual job that you can get and he's trying out? That was insane. Also, it's even if like he doesn't even understand what he's saying, he's wrong as well, but also morally abhorrent.
Government can protect kids from the sick radical left. Shouldn't they also protect kids from hunger? Wouldn't it make sense to strengthen food stamps and have school lunch be free since some kids are in school lunch debt? Well, I mean, if you are a parent, school lunches are not going to solve the problem of child hunger at any serious level. If there is a problem of children actually starving, that is a child endangerment scenario to which CPS needs to be called. If you're talking about like actual child starvation, the truth is it does not take that much money to feed a child. I know I have 3 of them. You should be feeding your child before you feed yourself. It's that simple. There's a much deeper problem at work than school lunches if kids are legitimately starving.
He immediately thought of this issue through the lens of his own experience in life. As someone who is incredibly wealthy, as someone who has never had any issues in providing food for his 3 children, which is great. I wish every American was in that position, but they're not. A lot of Americans are not in that position. In fact, child hunger declined in America during the pandemic thanks to the universal school lunch program that was implemented. That meant that school lunches were free for students. And believe it or not, there are many students across the country who rely on free school lunches in order to get the nutrition they need to survive.
$1 trillion plus last winter we did $2 trillion plus last year we did $5 trillion. It's enough already. And the idea that free lunches can buy votes, I mean, that may have been true a long time ago. That may have been true during the worst of the pandemic. It's not true anymore. I mean, my argument is all those people you singled out making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, they don't want it. You're giving them stuff they actually don't want, and they're not going to vote for it because they understand deficits and the Federal Reserve's creating too much money.
And then their taxes are going to go up, and they'll have to pay for it somewhere else.
That's
whether it's
right.
inflation or rising taxes.
That's correct.
You might get $12,000 back, but it's going to cost you more than that.
That's correct.
In the end anyway, and I think a lot of people are smart enough to figure that out.
You've become a total, I love this, a total supply sider. I love your
analysis. It's a common sense argument,
yes.
and I think you're right.
Yes.
One of the things that kills me is that now that there's a free lunch program in New Jersey, and it's for everyone, even if you don't need help to send your child's lunch to school. So those kids are all going to grow up thinking, well, lunch is free, right? And then God help the person who comes along and tries to take that away, Larry. You talk about free lunch. I mean, that will never, once that happens, right? Once it's baked in there.
Imagine a kid growing up thinking, well, I'll always be able to eat, right? If I fall in hard times, they won't let me starve, right? America's the richest country in the history of the world, right? No, you stupid hungry kid, you're gonna starve to death. That's what we need to teach them. That's how you make America strong, by starving its kids to death.